Okay. Oh no, words! Man, if only we were, going through it and telling you exactly what to do. So, as promised, ding, round 2. We take care of this today. That's it. If you have everything done, if you got all your quizzes done, if you've been given a flying fornication in the last 4.5 months, then this is it. Robert.
Yeah.
An extra comment in the middle of every breath that I take is not conducive to a conversation. Let's stop that. Well, they shouldn't be. We shouldn't have any stress. In fact, that gives me the warm fuzzies. Yay. I like this. Well, you're doing solid too. Like, it's amazing when you take the rules and structures that are in most schools, which are designed to create compliant, obedient citizens that do not question authority. When you say, do the thing or else, you'd get rid of that and, hot damn, people actually learn things. So, yes. So, everyone got theirs. Do you have any of your stuff from the Chapter 2 packet, all of your handouts and all that business, that anything that said 2 point something on it? Because that's the second half of what we did. The first unit, the big chunk, was properties, exponents, functions. The second half was equations, inequalities. If you have your reviews and quizzes and that kind of stuff from the second half of this, likely quizzes 3 through 6, reviews 3 through 6. Ooh, I think I still have 6, because you were the ones that took your quiz right when we came back, aren't you? Yeah, I still got those. Sorry. But I would say that we've done okay with it since, so we'll be cool. Remember, this is open everything, open all resources too. So if we get to some of the inequality stuff and you're just kind of not feeling it, take this, stuff it in a folder, forget about it for the weekend. Then on Monday when we come back and it's a maroon day, come back down here for Spartan time. I'll hand you your chapter 6 quizzes and maybe you find something useful. Okay? So, let's start off. I got a g divided by a negative 5 plus 3 equals a thing. Okay. Those last 2 words you said. Multiply by negative 5 on...
Okay, where the 3 is.
Uh-huh.
And where the negative 13 is.
On both sides. Both sides meaning everything on both sides. There's 2 ways to do these. Option 1 says, I'm going to subtract 3 and then multiply by a negative 5. Getting g is 80. Option 2 says you multiply both sides by that negative 5. Oh. Gotta be that way. which you got to use parentheses for. Like you said, every single term. So -5 here, -5 here. Getting this part cancels. -5 by 3 is a -15. And then that'll get me 65. Then I add 15. Getting G is 80 again. So I don't care which of those two ways you do. They're both cool. It's a two-step equation. 2 steps. Add or subtract a thing, multiply or divide a thing. We usually subtracted that 3 first because so many of us forgot to multiply everything by the -5. And if that's something where you heard that and you're like, okay, yeah, I remember it, but man, I would have got that wrong, then don't do that. Then subtract the 3 first instead. You do what works for you. Now, either way, whether you went with potatoes or you're a stuck-up British person and said potatoes, either way, you got G is 80. We have not finished the problem. What do the directions say at the top? And check. So I'm going to head back to the original and say something divided by -5 plus 3 and see if that's -13. And in there goes my 80. Now remember, you don't have to do all of the arithmetic step by step on the paper. You can one-shot it in the calculator. I'm okay with that. I just care that you check it. And you have something on there to show that you checked. Now even if I grab my old derpy calculator here. Okay, take 80 divided by 5 negative. Boom. Plus 3. Boom. Cool. -13, -13. That's what I wanted it to be. So that's all I'm going to write. That is my check. As long as -13 equals -13, I'm good. You don't have to show all the steps for it as long as you know that it works. Now what I don't want you to do is get an answer, write this, and then just BS it. Okay, what if you got G is 60? I don't want you to just say 60 -13 equals -13 because that's what it's supposed to equal. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to make it look like I'm doing it. You're teenagers. You know what happens when you try to pretend like you did the thing, but you didn't actually do the thing. How does that work out for you?
Really good.
Okay, almost always, for me, when I pretended to do the thing, it went very poorly. Someone figured out I didn't do the thing, and then I had to do the thing anyway, but now I've just wasted more time pretending to do the thing.
I've always gotten away with it.
I severely doubt that.
If I just partially do the thing, I get away with it, especially at work. Because I don't really.
Good to know where my tax dollars are going to go. So,
I may have tax money too, but so I have to pay taxes.
round 2. Hey, Robert, can you do me a favor? You hold your hand. It's got to be straight like this, kind of in front of you. A little bit higher, like in line with your nose. Okay, now slowly bring it back.
Yeah.
Over your head, like this. And say, meow.
Meow. Why?
So, 18 is 6t plus 6. Saying you missed the point, bud.
Oh, it's way over my head. Is that what you mean?
And welcome back. If I distribute, I now have just your basic 2-step equation. So this was 3-step. This is our progression of equations we did. You play the who's lonely game. You say -6, both sides. 12 is 6t, and then they're multiplying, so I'm going to divide. t is 2. Now again, when I check that, it doesn't have to be crazy. I say 18, does that equal 3 by 2 by 2 plus 2? And I can jam it out exactly like that in a calculator. Let's use the dum-dum here. Just so I show you that it works on anything. This is the scientific calculator on your laptop is pretty much the same as you're going to see on your phone, right? So I'm going to say 3 times a parenthesis, 2, another parenthesis. Oh, wait, this one's dumb. I have to... That's right. 3 times a parenthesis, 2 times a parenthesis. Yeah, that's right. You got to do it that way on this one. Close the parenthesis to say I'm done over there. Add the 2. Close the parenthesis to say I'm done over there. Womp. I mean, you can do it in stages too. You say 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18.
If I went to degree class to get out of here.
No! You ain't getting out of here early. You ain't doing diddly squat.
I said if I do work, if we get out of here.
You still owe me the other half of this final, pal. You got stuff to do. So, you say 18 is 18. Yes. I just want to say that it's balanced. You're saying 18 equals this stuff, and there's something missing. What do I put in the missing spot to make 18 balance with 18? Go ahead and switch it. If it's a t and you would rather have that an x, the very first thing you should be doing at the very beginning of the problem is I would write 18 is 3 to x plus 2. If you did that right away, go for it. The only time that a variable has to be a specific variable is usually when it stands for something in a word problem. Like h and t standing for height and time. That matters. This is just an equation. Use whatever you want to use. All right, then we start putting a little more oomph to them. Now we got variables and constants on both sides. I move something. It doesn't even have to be the 4 ends. It could have been the 12s. Could have been the positive one or the negative one. This is where the old football coach in me comes in and I say, I don't care if you screw up. Just screw up going 100 miles an hour. Don't freeze, just hit someone.
I will. I'll do it tonight.
I don't care which of these you move, I just care that you move. Okay, you said 4n? 4n? Okay, so 4n. So I got 8 n's minus 12, 12. And then play the Who's Lonely game. We say 8 n's is 24, almost there. Divide by the 8. You put it in both sides. As long as number equals number, it's good. You do it 2 separate times. Okay, so I'm going to say 4 thing minus 12, does that equal 12 minus 4 thing? That thing we said was 3. So we go grab Dum Dum again. There we go. Wait, do I have 2 of these windows open? Huh. As right, 4 times 3 is minus 12 is.
They both not equal the same.
12 minus 12 is 0. Does 0 equal 0?
Yes.
Then that means I did it right. The equation is balanced. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Holds out knife to 4-year-old. Okay? I got a really funny picture of us at a restaurant where my oldest picked up just a butter knife and he was just playing with it. It's a chunk of metal. Who cares? It doesn't have a sharp point on it, right? But boy, the picture that my wife took from the other side of him going with this knife looks like I will cut you. It's great. That's going to come back to haunt me. Step 1, Sturbert. Negative 4r minus 8. 8 minus 16r. I don't care what you move, just move something. Okay. Because it's a negative 16r, we're going to add 16r. Yeah, that works. Then we got 12r's minus 8 equals 8. Play the Who's Lonely game. Here, do I got orange in here? Let's get some orange. So I'll have 12r's is 16. Oh, don't you dare. What do 16 and 12 both have in common? 2, even more. 4. 16 divided by 4 is? 12 divided by 4 is? 4/3 is my answer. Here. Let me move this over here. Let's move all of this over here. You're all 5 foot 10 inches apart. That's the most that I can mathematically do, providing enough space between my desk and that one. I'm the math teacher. I figured it out. That's why we only have this many tables and this many students in here.
How would you check it? Well, don't we just do it the same way that we
Same way. Negative 4. That r is going to be a 4/3 plus 2. I want to see if that equals 2 minus 4 by a 4/3. Use the parentheses on your calculator. This is 4 negative times. Use a parenthesis. Use another parenthesis to say I'm going to divide stuff, because 4/3 is 4 divided by 3. Close the parenthesis. 4/3. Right? 4/3. 4/3. Now yours, you can, okay, yours, you can just type it exactly like this.
That's what I thought.
I have to do it this way because dum-dum. No, you guys got the calculators where it's called a right view. You can type it exactly this way. And then plus 2. And then I'll close the parenthesis. Then I'll hit enter. And it tells me negative 13 1/3, or on your calculator, negative 39. Or wait,
No.
negative 13 1/3 is negative 40/3. Okay. Do it in order of operations then. Say 4 divided by 3. Like start all the way over. 4 divided by 3 equals plus 2 times negative 4.
Negative 1.3. Negative 13.3. Is that what that's?
Same thing.
I got negative 13.
Negative 13 and a third, which is negative 40 thirds, which is negative 13.3 repeating.
Okay, they said 2 divided by 3 plus 2. And then you said times negative 4.
Yes. You do the order of operations. You say I'm going to do inside the itty bitty parentheses first. Then I'm going to add the 2 because that's still inside parentheses.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to multiply. You take your parentheses and work your way out. This is why having a nice calculator that'll just jam it all together for us. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I got this thing. See if the other thing is the same. Take 4 times a parenthesis, 2 minus a parenthesis. Oh, wait. 4. God, I hate this thing. 4 times a parenthesis. 2 minus 4 times a parenthesis. There we go. Now we got this time. 4 divided by a 3. A parenthesis to say I'm done with the fraction. A parenthesis to say I'm done with that. And equals to say I multiplied it. And I look, it's the same ugliness. As long as ugly equals ugly, it's right. Negative 40 thirds equals negative 40 thirds. Now, again, this is having to work with ancient technology. I would much rather use this feller over here. Now, this is big kahuna, right? This is severely overkill. This is $130. A $10 Casio from Walmart will do just as good. Oh, you're not gonna. There we go. Yeah, these are, depending. If you catch the sale every August before school starts, they'll go down to 85 or 90. Huh?
No, one from the store.
That's,
She was asking if
this specific calculator.
the one on the internet.
This is an emulator for the physical calculator.
She was asking if it costs that much to get it on your computer.
Unfortunately, yes. They still charge you the full amount for the digital license. Because this company owns the educational market for calculators. Like all schools use them. So they can charge whatever they want. But anyway, I can one-shot this on here by typing it exactly like I see it. And then I'll say 4 a fraction third plus 2. Bomb. Okay? So a right view calculator, it's worth it most of the time. Now, those ones that you got, that's like 15-year-old technology right there. Those things are about as old as you. They haven't changed that much in the last decade. These, which are absolutely friggin' stellar, $20, other than the graphing part itself, this will go all the way through calculus for $20. It'll simplify radicals for you, simplify in terms of pi, I, and e. It'll do all this fraction business, all of it for you. Type it exactly the way you see it, $20. You do not need to spend a fortune. And this is a 10-year-old item. I bought more than that. Hold on. I bought this in 2008. You do not need to spend a fortune on school stuff. In fact, you shouldn't be spending money on school stuff regardless. It's public education. We should be providing you with everything you need for the friggin' education. But that's another soapbox. As long as ugly equals ugly, you good.
Godfish.
What?
Godfish.
Oh, Jesus fish, yes. We said we cross multiply. We say 35 by 11 is 353.85. We multiply these two and we get 5x. We divide and say x is 77.
Easy.
Wait for it. You just said x is 77. So, stick a 77 in there and prove it. Say if this is 385, then this better be 385 as well. Same business. Now, remember, the trick to it was just multiply the two that line up, divide by the one that doesn't, because it pseudo made alpha. And it depends on where the x is. You know, sometimes it'll be upside down, alpha, or whatever. But yes, no. All you got to do, these are another proportion problem. We did ones like this where all you got to do is compare the right thing to the right thing. For example, if I said that I just saw a group of 20 kids walk into the gym at the homecoming dance, there were 15 girls, 5 guys. If I assume that there's 180 kids in the gym, how many of them are guys? No. You'd compare. How many guys were there to the whole group? How many guys will there be to the whole gym? Guys to group, guys to group. As long as you compare the same things, right? Waffles to chalupas, waffles to chalupas.
Don't make me hungry.
Okay? It's always got to be the same things. So, you got a dude that casts a 14-foot shadow. 4-foot kid, right next to him, casts a 9-foot 4-inch shadow. How tall's the guy? So what are the two things we're talking about? Shadows and the other math thing, how tall they are. So those are the two things we're going to compare. You have the shadow's length and you have the height. You have the shadow's length and the height. Okay, if I'm comparing shadow and height, what are the shadow and height of what two things am I talking about? Okay, the guy has a 14-foot shadow. I don't know how tall he is. The kid is 4 feet tall and casts a, 9 foot 4 inches shadow. Because that's a symbol for foot and inches. Because I don't want to write it. Now the problem is I can't go doing my cross multiply and divide thing because foot, and inches. This is 2 different units. I need to change them. So it's either all got to be in feet or all got to be in inches.
All gotta be.
Can we round?
No.
How many times have we had this conversation? Also, if you round, you'll get the wrong answer. If you do it correctly with, fractions and stuff, it'll come out perfectly clean. So, what I'm hearing is we don't like fractions. 4 inches out of 12 inches, that's 4 out of 12, that's 1 out of 3. I'm guessing you don't want to say 9 1/3 feet. So maybe we change them all to inches instead. How many inches are in a foot? So take 14 times 12.
168.
Take 4 feet times 12 inches.
48. You said 4 feet times 12?
Yep. All right, this one's going to be in 2 stages. Take the 9 whole feet times 12 inches. Okay, so if this part is 108, and then there's another 4 inches, you add them together and say that's 112 inches. So let's rewrite this a little nicer. That's 168 over x is 112 over 48. Now they're all in inches. Now it's okay. I'm doing the mean one to you now so that the one on the quiz isn't so nasty. Okay, get your Jesus fish on. Multiply the ones that line up, divide by the one that doesn't. Someone else confirm. Do 168 times 48, then divide by 112. I just want to make sure. Okay, I just heard a whole bunch of numbers. I feel like I'm old Bob Barker, Price is Right. Okay. Because I know you said 72. I know that's the right answer. I need to make sure that everyone else is in agreement because they all just started saying a bunch of numbers. You said like 19 different numbers. Okay. So you can say, how tall is a man? 72 inches. You can just quit there. But if that's 72 inches, what could you do to turn that into feet? Divide by 12. If we multiplied by 12 to get to inches, divide by 12 to get to feet. And 72 happens to be an exact multiple of 12. He's 6 feet tall. I divided by 12.
Yeah.
Well, if you multiply by 12 to make inches, you divide by 12 to get to feet. The big thing is shadow to height. Shadow to height. Compare the same things and then just Jesus fish. Watch out for your units. No, you'll be fine. All right. Solving for a specific variable. If I want this fella all by himself, well, they subtracted a 2 and they subtracted a c and they divided by a 2. Are you? Okay. Normally, I would try to get rid of this first and try to say plus c, right? But it's in the way. The 2 is literally in the way. So I will multiply by the 2 to get it out of the way. In Tava we trust.
Surprisingly.
So I've got 2D over here. I'm still not there. Who's still got to go away? Now what do I do?
Well, how you have to add this? You have to minus B.
No.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Why didn't I say 6? Probably because it's your number soup over there.
As left house, x equals 2d plus c.
Okay, these two are not like terms, right? So I just add them together and leave it like that. Now you can say c plus 2d, or you can say 2d plus c because addition's commutative. Both of those are correct. I don't care. They're both right. That's it. Just get the x by itself. Show me that you can still do algebra stuff when it looks weird. That's what this problem is. Because that's how we get formulas. Okay, then we jumped on to inequalities. I mean our little cheater graph. This is a one variable graph. Number line. The stuff we just did. Petri dish. I don't know, I'm just saying random things because that's what it feels like. You don't eat the Petri dish. A Petri dish is where you grow cultures of virus and bacteria. Okay, you are missing everything that's happening over here. Let's just stop. So anyway, if I want to get that T all by his lonesome, who's got to go away? I'm going to go this route first because I feel like it. Now what? By? Negative 5, yes. Because I want to get rid of the negative too. TOO, negative as well. So negative cancels with negative, 5 cancels with 5. Negative 11 and negative 5 is 55. And this is wrong. Yes. Put a note next to it. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, switch the inequality. Because negative means opposite. And remember, I don't need any big, scary graph on this. I need the number, the open circle, less ink here, less ink there, and to the left, because this makes a little arrow pointing to the left, so long as the variable is on the left of it. Wow. So the exact same progression we saw with equations we'll do with inequalities. We're just going to keep adding more things to it, making it more complicated. Solve and graph. You tell me, you want to get rid of the 2 denominator or do you want to get rid of the 5? Okay. I'm hearing both. 2, 5. Okay. I've been doing that for 12 years. It's still fine.
I did.
Cool. Now what? Now I'll multiply by the 2. You better have, it wouldn't have been 5 anymore. You'd have to take 2 times this and this.
Wouldn't you flip the sign?
Did I multiply or divide by a negative?
No.
So no.
Okay.
And finally,
Add 2.
and again, your graph doesn't have to be crazy. 18, close circle, to the left, to the left. Okay. Y'all are acting extra squirrely right now. You need to lock it in. We're almost there. Stage 1.
You have to multiply
Negative 3w minus 9 less than 9 minus 3w. Where do I want my variables?
on the left.
I want them on the left when I'm dealing with inequalities. So let's start with that.
Add 3.
But when I do, no.
No, you get 0.
You owe me $3. You give me $3.
I was thinking about it crosses out. So that's no solution. No?
Depends. Is that a true statement?
No. Yes. No. Yes, it is. It's not. Negative only $9. You have
You
9.
guys are saying 9, or yes.
Negative 9 does not equal 9.
I know it doesn't equal, and it doesn't say equal in between.
Negative 9 is less than 9.
They're saying
Yes, exactly. That's right. Negative 9 is less than 9. Look, I got a moment of 1.
Yo,
I was right.
just
No, I went against you.
You just learning to me.
No, you said no.
I said yes.
All I heard was no, and I said yes.
if I put negative 9 right here on a number line, is 9 going to be right or left of it?
Right.
So doesn't that mean this is less than that?
Yes.
So this is true.
My brain hurts.
Man, that was a lot of commotion for just...
They said no, I wanted to say yes.
Okay, money. You guys get money.
No, I don't.
Is having $9 of debt worse than having $9 in your pocket?
Yes.
So this is a true statement. Yes, it is. Everything is a solution to this because I got a true statement. Now, if, on the other hand,
Why don't you grab that?
oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's good. We have to do that before I do the next case.
I just wanted to ask that before.
All right. If I just have a generic number line, how do I graph everything? Everything. Yeah. Everything. Now, let's flip that around. What if it was this?
No. Don't be false.
Now, Now I'm saying negative 9 is bigger than 9. And since that's a false statement, now it's no solution. Everything or nothing. Yeah, I know. There's a 4-day weekend. The whole lot of you are like ferrets on meth right now.
I am. I have a lot of coffee. I didn't have any coffee, but I do need it. I had a whole bottle of coffee. You talk a lot when you're right. Yes, I do. Robert, you not.
I don't have to go through the last 4 examples. I can just give you the quiz and say, let's do it.
Show Bob.
Can you have at least 12? Wait, isn't this one? Yeah, it's positive, right? Because we have the -3 to the positive, correct? Yes, it'll be positive. Negative times the negative is the positive. That is perfect.
Before you go moving anything, can you combine anything on here? Can you make life any easier?
Yes. No. Yes, because you combine the x's.
Hold on.
What x's? 6x.
Can these go together?
No.
Can anything over here go together?
Yeah. It -1.
Whose pencil is this?
Someone who actually did math.
Hey, now. I did math. Maybe not today or the past few days, but I still have.
And then,
Maybe.
where do I want my variables? Now we could move 6x. Negative 12x's plus 11 is less than negative 25. Play the who's lonely game. Subtract 11. And divide by your negative 12. Now remember, this was less than. When I divide by the negative, it's going to flop to greater than. In your graph, again, doesn't have to be crazy. Number, circle, arrow. That's all I need. Words. Look for the word is, am, was, were.
I don't see it.
Is. Is at least 9. So I know I got the 9 here. Something is at least 9. Can it equal 9?
Yes.
Will this stuff be bigger than 9 or smaller than 9 if it's at least 9?
Smaller.
You just said bigger and smaller.
No, bigger. Smaller. Smaller.
Bigger the better.
Words aren't coming out right now.
You have at least $9 in your account.
It is no more than 9.
It has no less than.
Bigger than 9. We're at least.
You have at least $9.
It's bigger than the amount that you have in your account.
I have to have more, right? You have to have at least $9 to go get lunch.
I didn't have that right. That time right.
Yes.
Okay.
Would be 4 plus.
Oh, careful. 4 more than. Do you remember what more than does with the 4? What does the word then do? Then means put it at the end. It's almost like all those notes we wrote down over the semester do something for us. It says I'm going to have a thing and then I'm going to put plus 4 at the end of it. That's what more than means. The quotient of says I'm about to divide a thing, number over number. It's going to stop at the word is. The and in between is going to tell me what those two things are. A number, and 3. Quotient says divide. Quotient of says the crap I'm about to say is the stuff I'm dividing. Then you're off to the races. Who's got to move? So minus 4, minus 4. I got n over 3 greater than or equal to 5. Multiply by 3. There you go. Talked it through. I do not switch the inequality because I didn't multiply or divide by a negative. That's the catch. Yeah. Because the writing and solving are the two pieces of it, as opposed to solve and graph.
I'm still graphing.
Yay. Pay attention to the scale on this one. What's it going by? It's going by 2s. So what number is right here? And a 2. And they're closed circles, so thing, thing. Number is in between them. And do you remember, which way does Pac-Man always eat on an and sandwich? Always eats the bigger ones, and the bigger ones are always to the right on a number line. No? Remember, that's how an and sandwich looks. It's always the smaller number with an X with a big number. And then these might have lines with them or not. These ones are written, X is what then, negative 4? This says X is what then, 2? And because they're going opposite directions and they're both shaded as an answer, you just jam an or in between them. They're both shaded opposite directions is an or.
Don't forget your line.
Oh yeah, this one's got a filled in circle. So it will have a line underneath it. Maybe.
Really funny.
Was that
Oh, you got me hot.
Come on, let us be cool.
Did you say let us be cool?
Yeah.
Marine 1 algebra is sucking. They have 2 of 15.
That's this one.
Oh, we're cool.
He's cool. He's cool.
It says an or in between them, so just solve them separately. Minus 3, minus 3. D is less than or equal to a negative 4. Oh, 3D is. Minus 2, minus 2. 5D is greater than or equal to 10. Divide by the 3, divide by the 3. Divide by the 5, divide by the 5. And say D is less than or equal to a negative 4/3. D is greater than 2.
Don't forget. No, never mind.
And because it's an or, you say an or, unless, it won't matter. You got to look at the number line. Negative 4/3, close circle to the left. 2, close circle to the right. Okay, that is still an or. Remember, we had to watch out for these because we might have had, where is it? This. We might have had one of these unicorns that went the same direction. Good thing we all wrote those down. Because it is open notes, open everything, kiddos. Because you might have. I don't know. No. I haven't graded anything in a month.
Mine's what you have learned. You say you ate plants. I don't like that. That's not good grammar. What am I talking? I can barely freaking grammar. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's open everything. Use your resources, just like any other quiz. Get them. Just like anything else, if you don't finish, I'm not concerned. Just stuff it in your bag. Come back on Spartan time on Tuesday and finish it. Okay?